All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, a higher has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Yes, I shall rest therein. I have a message today that is for he or her ear that can hear. One thing I can truly say, many people don't understand that just because they've been reading the word of God, they've been teaching it for 100 years, and they've been dedicated in reading and studying and teaching the Bible, that they are in there. Mm-mm. Those are the most, uh, how would I say it? Those type of people are the most lost on the face of the earth. Being so, after a moment with the Ruach HaKodesh, your life should be forever changed. And if it has not, because you are desire and have desire to go in the way that pleases and that pleases your flesh, and to get your flesh recognition, your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding in your flesh to be seen beyond spirit and truth. This topic is uh, covering spirit and truth of the whole matter, and what's is matter, what is about to happen. Sister Deborah finna be all over the place with different topics, but I wasn't planning on going to what many call Torah. I wasn't planning on going into Torah, which is the last book, which is Deuteronomy 28, a book that has changed many, I would say, Black people lives here in America and around the corner, around the four in the four corners of the world. Uh, Deuteronomy 28 has, especially the number one places in America, have changed Black people. I'm gonna call them Negroes. I put it like that, Negroes' lives. But it only opened up doors to their flesh understanding, their flesh wisdom, their flesh knowledge. It it never allowed them to enter into spirit and truth. And I think about the Most High and how He has orchestrated everything from the level of His throne, and that we as human beings think that we can tell Him and show Him how it's done and the way it's done and who's who and what's what. And one thing I have learned since I was 4 years old, that right hand power of the Most High is one you don't play with. You don't buckle up against the Creator and hit and who He is and who He stands for. And another thing you can't buckle up against, His will. So I believe what has happened, and I ain't gonna believe, I know for a fact what has happened is man has not and have refused spirit and truth to the point of where we at today. The spirits of people are totally 100 lost. Uh, those that are walking in spirit and truth, y'all got them in the palm of His power, of His right hand. They are locked. They are the one He said that you can't pluck out of His hand. Those are the ones that are in His hand that cannot be removed out of His hand. Why? Because His hand is the power that orchestrated them to be in him before the foundation of the world, and he gripped them with his mighty right hand, and that's where they're going to rest in the right hand of the Father. He's going to see them through. And it's not based on the way the world want to accept them, or the world want to tell them how you do this and you got to do this. They're not under, let me tell you all, those that's in the palm of the Most High's hand, you can't go orchestrating their life. You can't go telling them that they're not who they are in his hand, because it wasn't given to you, nowhere near you, to have that ability to tell people who they are, what they can wear, how they dress, how they eat, how they walk, and how they talk. People who have gotten to that level of deceiving and manipulating people to go in the order of their flesh, those are people that's nowhere near the right hand of the power of the Most High Yah. And Yah has his in the palm of his hands. That's why he said no man can pluck them out of his hand. You all, seriously, you can't be plucked out of the Most High hand. And you have to understand that every last one that is in his hand, okay, on the earth. Now, we talking spirit and truth. Now, if you don't know what spirit and truth is, you should not be on this platform listening to this little old lady, okay? Spirit and truth of the matter is, it's not the way the world and the flesh of men have orchestrated A to Z, not knowing that they ain't done nothing, they ain't past B, but they think they have mastered A to B, and they don't A to Z, but they in their flesh they have mastered A to Z, but in the spirit and truth, they ain't got past B. They just don't know it. And it's not so much as they don't know it. It's just like he said in Hosea chapter 6 verse 4. I believe it was Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, or Hosea chapter 6 verse 4. I think it's Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, where he said, my people. He called you his people, but he said you perish. And then he said, due to what? Lack of knowledge. Then why are you lacking knowledge? Because you reject knowledge. And then what did he say? And I will reject you and your children. How you like him now? He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Today, I'm covering spirit and truth of the whole matter. And what that means is I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to talk about a lot of topics. And like I said, if you are not familiar and you're not aware of what is spirit and truth, this is not the page you need to be on. It's too many YouTubers, okay? Feeding your flesh a full meal deal. It's best that you pull up in a drive-through and order your meal and get all that you choose. Order your meal. Okay, but this one here, this is food for the spirit. And if you don't know what spirit and truth is on the menu, you might as well go on to those that you know the menu by heart, okay? And get your meal for your flesh, okay? My plan was to cover several issues in the world today and bring them into the spirit and truth. But what happened is somewhere along the line, the Most High wants me to start in Deuteronomy 28, but he wants me to come a different route. He wants me to come from the route of Torah. How so many so overly learned people always grafting Torah. They use it as a iron claw. They use it because they really don't understand. They have a bruise Torah, and they have told people that Torah is this. You got to know Torah. You got to walk in Torah. You got to go this. But when they finish, the Father want me to tell you that was their way of deceiving you, because they have mastered the 5 books. That's something they feel they have mastered. And with that, they think that they can manipulate you and deceive you from that end. But he told me a while back, if they missed Genesis 1 and 2, Deborah, they didn't miss it all. He said, and he topped it off. He said, when you get to Deuteronomy, Deborah, that's Torah too. And they don't even know the end game of the curse. So how is it they didn't master the Torah? And this is where he informed me that using Torah is not a tool to use as far as thinking that you can defeat people's wisdom and their knowledge and their understanding in the spirit realm with your wisdom and knowledge in your natural realm of your studying Torah. Okay, see, this thing is spiritual and it is true. See, that's what they don't understand. Before it was natural, before it became, and before it was, it is. Heavens had already orchestrated the beginning to the end. We just playing with ourselves, and ourselves just playing with us. Okay, so I want to just cover what he want me to give in Torah, and he was talking about how Torah had an end, and the end of Torah was Deuteronomy. He said, now take them to Deuteronomy 28 and then bring them to today. And I said, it sounds like something I didn't cover several times. He said, cover it again. So here I am. In Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 20, it reads, and Yah shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hands unto, for to do until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me. You know what's kind of deep about this here in this day and time? Remember, he was talking about in Genesis chapter 6, and where he was telling us about the day of Noah, okay? And then the Messiah came and he kind of covered the Genesis 6, the days of Noah, and he said it's going to be like the days of Noah. Okay, one of the things that you hear him say, they're going to be selling, building, and planting. That's when he says, and like the days of Lot, they're going to be building, planting, and selling. And I'm like, okay, what is this saying? Do you not see the people who are in this curse? Okay, I say Hebrew Israelites. Let's put it like that. Do you see that those fall straight up under them? It's warning them in the last days of what you're going to be doing. He ain't talking about the world. The world been building. The world been selling. See, y'all never thought of it like that, have you? You know why? Spirit and truth comes, as he have said time past. It in the last days, that which is in the dark shall come to the light. And it's coming to the light to those who are in the light. Okay? That's why I say this message is for those who know spirit and truth, because spirit and truth rest in the light. Where you, even if it's a small needle of light and you can see it, you rest in spirit and truth. You're in the light. But 99.9 still rotten darkness, trying to get pleasure in their flesh understanding, their flesh wisdom, and their flesh knowledge. And that is what they are content with. Now, as you hear in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 20, he's sitting here saying it again. Watch this here. He said, in all that thou settest thy hand to do, until thou be destroyed. He's letting you know, no matter what you set your hand to, it is not going to override his curse. He said you can plant 1,000,000 acres of food. It's still not going to override his mighty right hand with his curse. You can build the Empire State Building for housings or for whatever you want. You can get land, 1,000,000 acres of land, and build houses and communities or whatever you want. It's not going to erase the curse. And what is the power that rests in the curse that the people are missing, Deborah? What is the power they missing that they're going to be destroyed? no matter what they trying to put their hands to, no matter what they try to build, no matter what they try to manipulate people. I got this, I got this, I got this. You know what's so strange to me? I was washing dishes, and this is about 30 minutes ago, and he said to me, because I was asking him to bless me, and I always say, this is me, y'all. When I go before the Father and ask him to bless me, I said, but please don't let it be at the expense of someone's life. And then the Spirit began to tell me, he said, Deborah, that's not a blessing. I said, I know that's right. Praise the Most High. That's not a blessing. He let you know, because people are really hung on someone dying and they inherit, oh, I'm blessed. Baby, use a fool, and use a fool. You see, because y'all don't have to end someone's life. First of all, he got a date that he bring them in, and he have a date that he take them out. When was you listed to be blessed on the date that he take them out? Come on now, talk to me. Now, if heavens has orchestrated Sister Deborah to come in October the 2nd, 1961, and to go out whatever date that the Father has in heaven, we know he got it orchestrated, the beginning and the end. We got to get that power to him, y'all. I know a lot of y'all can't get that, and y'all refuse to get that. But yes, he holds the beginning and the end. So if he has that day already to come in and come out, what are you saying? Your blessing comes the day Sister Deborah go out, because there's an insurance policy where you get a little money. That's where you know the minds of people are set. They're thinking Yah is blessing them. See, they don't understand. They don't understand spirit and truth. And the thing about it, Yah does not waste these last days trying to explain things to people and get people to understand this. Because the Father said, if they already in my hand, Deborah, they already know spirit and truth. They know that that's not the blessing. So as I was washing dishes, he was revealing that to me, because I've said that every time I ask, anytime I have to go to the Father and say, Father, I ask of you, if it be thy will, if you see fit, I know you have taught me my daily bread. And I'm going to tell y'all something, 99.9 cannot survive the daily bread. They cannot survive it. The daily bread, that is what you call long suffering and endurance, because you learn to live what you got daily. You don't sit and plot years and years and, oh, I'm going to get this. And if this person die, I got this policy and I'm going to get this. No. And that's what I was saying in the water. I said, but Father, the blessing, I don't want it to be attached to nobody's life, someone's death, to inherit. And you know, he said, Deborah, you asking for a blessing. He said, Deborah, that's not a blessing. See, because the mindset of people are so far deep out in the lake, they don't even believe their mind is out there, but that's where it's at. You see? So I just say, I had to throw that in, because he gave me that in the water about a half an hour ago before I got online. And I had to throw that in, because living your daily bread, let me tell you something. I had no idea of what I was asking for when I used to pray. When I stayed in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, I used to pray, Father, just give me my daily bread. Teach me how to only embrace my daily bread. And let me tell y'all, he taught me. Oh boy, he taught me. It's a testimony in itself, even to today. So I know that I'm still on that daily bread. So what he's saying here in Deuteronomy 28 is this. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 9 and verse 20. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 20. The Lord shall send upon you cursing, vexation, rebuke in all that you set. Listen to this. Thy hands too. So when you thinking, you getting this, you building this, you got this, he already got the heathens on your back already. You just don't know it. When it all said and done, they are the one that's going to inherit it. When you finish building, you finish planting, Because you think, why would he come back with the Messiah, and the Messiah sit and said it's going to be like the Father did it in the old days, the days of Noah and the days of Lot, building, selling, and planting, feasting. These are things that surround the Hebrew Israelites. They won't take that, y'all. They won't take it. They won't embrace that fact. See, because they don't want to embrace spirit and truth of the matter. They don't want spirit and truth nowhere in their sight, because they're loving the lifestyle of the flesh and the inheritance of the flesh and the materialistic things that they gain in the flesh, because it makes them feel that, hey, this is my only way of being close, is the people see what I have on the outside. People see what I have, land and property and building and planting and selling and buying for me and mine. When they see that, they think I'm somebody in God. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know the most of the pastors, bishops, apostles really detach the blessing of Yah for their lives based on their action of their nasty hand and their rotten mouths? Isn't that sad? That is sad, because they think that if they can show the world that I'm building, I got land, I got I'm planting, I got mines. At whose expense did you get yours? Mm-hmm. Because what the Father is saying here in Deuteronomy 28, he's saying that he shall send the curse, vexation, rebuke in all that thou set thy hands unto to do, until what? Thou be destroyed. So no matter what you got, what you putting forward in your tower that you building, your Babylon, not your Baal, what's that? Your tower of Baal. No matter what you putting together, y'all got you already locked in. And what did he say? Until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly, because of thy wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Doing your wickedness. What is it? Your wickedness of thy doing. Y'all know that you can build whatever you want. You can get 100 acres. You can get 100 acres and build every tower you need. You can build 100 acres worth of vegetables. Y'all saying, until you be destroyed. It's the end game of no matter what you put your hands for. That's why your heart has to be right, y'all. Your heart has to be right. Because y'all know that people are plotting where they at and manipulating the Hebrew Israelite people, that and they the same Hebrew Israelite people, manipulating them to think that this is the God of the whole world blessing us for this. No, that's not what he said in Deuteronomy 28. This is the reason why they refuse to teach, preach Deuteronomy 28. Isn't that sad? Now, what happened is they when they go, if they had to preach it, they would deny. They would deny that they are cursed. They would deny that Yah placed a curse. They would deny everything, because then they have to come face to face to it or with it. So they will deny it with no problem. Let's go to another one. Same chapter, different verse 24. And the Lord shall make rain of thy land powder and dust, and heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Now, I'm going to tell you something I did learn. I learned that a lot of you all don't understand a lot of things that he was letting come on you was when you were in Africa. Africa played a big role in the curse itself, just as the heathens. So when you have all these people talking about going over to Africa, they sicker than sick. They need to go over to Africa, because that's how foolish. And this is what he said in Deuteronomy 26. until you are destroyed. The destroyer is coming two ways. It's coming life, taking away the life, and taking away this mental state of mind. But it's going to come, baby. It's coming. No, let me stop it. It's not coming. It's already here, 100%. This is the denial. This is what they refuse to hold on. You can hear them teaching, talking about Torah, Torah, Torah. Tell them to take their tails back to Torah that. They won't come close. They won't come near it. They run from it because it is spirit and it is truth. Now here in same chapter, Deuteronomy 28, he talks about how, verse 24, 28 and 24, the Lord shall make the rain of the land, powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee till thou be destroyed. Who is he talking to? If the Hebrew Israelite really had to cover the end game of Deuteronomy, they'll say he's talking to the heathens. They will not own up to this, baby. They will not. It is better for them to lie and go to hell than to speak spirit and truth. See, because you all looking at your colors, trying to match them. Oh, we people, we family, we know you, baby. Let me tell you something. It ain't about that. It ain't about matching the flesh up. It's matching the spirit up. Can you do that? How about that? How about that? You can't even get it to touch tag with each other because everybody's spirit is detached to the ways of their flesh. They can't touch base with the spirit of spirit and truth. No, they ain't gonna touch base with that. They would only touch base with those who are not of the spirit and truth. And those, you see them running away from Deuteronomy 28 end game. They won't touch it. Okay? But then they'll go into the world and go and try to control the gays and the Hollywood and what they doing in Hollywood. How is that, bro? How is that? How is it you all up in Hollywood, the world Kool-Aid, and you got water here you won't even drink? Because you live in a hypocritical life. You ain't who you're trying to role play that you are. Okay. Now, as he continued, it dropped down, and it says in verse 28. We still in Deuteronomy 28, verse 28. And the Lord shall smite thee with the madness and the blindness and the astonished of heart. Okay. This is what he's telling you he's doing. And you all still skipping along in this day and time, trying to make y'all a lie so y'all can live your truth. Everybody wants to live their truth of their flesh. In the process, they don't care if they're making y'all a lie. Okay? Now, then when you get to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 33, he says, the fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall the nation which thou knoweth not eat up, and thou shalt be oppressed, crushed away. What is that saying? Build your tower. Go get you 100 million acres and build a whole community. Build your land and plant your whatever. Y'all's letting you know they coming for you. I praise the Most High in that because that's what you call spirit and truth of the whole matter. I just give him the praise and the honor for who he is and that power in which he holds. Because I'm not afraid to tell spirit and truth of the whole matter because they feeding the people in their flesh just so they can get their praise on, their glory. You know, the people can glorify them and put them on pastors and make them kings and leaders and rulers. That's all they searching for, the things of the flesh. Now, I'm going to listen. Now, y'all listen to this. Deuteronomy 28. What does this sound like to you? Just, if you can dip into your spirit being, just take in this. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 33. The fruit of thy land. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor, shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be oppressed and crushed away, so that verse 34, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. Y'all is telling y'all, he didn't tell you to go building towers. He didn't tell you to go prepare for this and prepare for that. He already told you whatever you build, they coming for it. They're going to tear it down. They're going to take. It's going to be like it's theirs. And that's over in Africa too. I tried to tell you all yesterday, Africa don't own nothing. Them black people over there don't own nothing. You can look and tell they don't own nothing. They never owned Africa. And that's just a lie that everybody want them to think that, oh, they got their president. Go 1 year. No, let's go 2 years. See how many presidents that they done murdered. These heathens and Gentiles have taken over Africa a long time ago. They owned Africa. Africa don't own itself. That's how bad Africa is and was and shall always be. Okay? Now, when you get over to 45, we still swimming in Deuteronomy 28. We swimming in Deuteronomy 28. And verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because of thy hearken not unto the voice of Ahijah. To the voice of Ahijah, to keep his commandments and his status, which he commanded thee. The commandment and his status is called instructions and direction. You didn't keep them. And that's why you suffering. Which, see, this is what they thinking. I'm going to show you how the flesh of man think. Oh, but if we can just role play, if we can just role play this thing, if we can just get us a big church, a building, and get everybody income and take everybody income and put it in one pot. And you go to those places and you see where those children living in and what it looked like. And you see how they're living, your women living. And then you go over here and you see how their men are living. But no matter which way they live it, if they Hebrew Israelites, guess what? Everything you building is going to be taken from you, said the Most High Yah. And I'm going to tell y'all how it's going to be. Sister Deborah didn't know this until today. The Father just revealed this to me. I knew that they was going, that everything was going to be taken from them. But guess what's happening? It's going to be taken. Watch this here. Watch this here. So what he's saying here is these things are going to be taken because he see what they thinking, because you all don't know who you dealing with. You don't know their hearts. You don't know their mindset. Y'all know them from the beginning to the end of who they are. He already know they not right. How can you be right, just, upright, and righteous if you haven't treated the Creator, who is righteous, right? Do that make any sense? Because they building their own treasure on the land that he told them, and he told Abraham. They building on their land. Said we gonna crush the curse itself. See, y'all thinking they just doing this. No, they trying to defeat Yah. That's what they trying. They trying to defeat him at his word. While y'all thinking they just trying to live and trying. No, because they taking everybody that they got on these lands. They taking their money, putting them into one, and going out here giving them hope. Their hope should be on, first and foremost, the Most High Yah, not in a man. Oh, I got a video to show y'all too. And this is why I say I don't have no time to be dealing or downing Gentiles. I don't have no time for that, to be downing them at that level of what a Hebrew Israelite men and women do. I don't have that, because when it all said and done, everything I'm hearing here as far as destroyed, I hear Ahijah doing this here. I hear him say it. He said it just plain as day. Plain as day. And we ain't getting it. It said where? And the Lord shall, and the Lord shall, and the Lord shall, and the Lord shall. So what are we doing here? This is how messed up from the floor up the mindsets of people really are. Now, it's over. So it don't matter how messed up their mind is. Sister Deborah is just going to walk you through this, because I'm going to give you a kind of a little something after I go over this here. So then we get to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemy, which a higher shall sin against thee. Against thee. Against thee. Yah is going to send them against thee. Okay? In hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until thou art what? Destroyed. Mentally, and those who thinking they gonna make a lie out of Yah, they're gonna die physically. They're gonna die. Because they trying, those that has embraced this, okay, somewhat, and in their hearts they want to do, they'll lose this. But those who thinking in Isaiah 3 and 25, they're going to die by the sword, the mighty ones. Those are the ones try to defeat what Yah said here and what he told Abraham. They're trying to override that. Now, I ain't going to say they trying. They don't believe in Yah. They got you because they calling his name. They telling the people to manipulate them so the people can keep giving their money to them and their wealth. This is what they're doing. You got a man running around here talking he baptizing people going all over the world. And then what do that has to do with it? What does that have to do with Deuteronomy 28? What does that have to do with these people that you baptizing? That ain't going to give them no key to the heaven. First of all and foremost, you're baptizing with nasty water. The Most High's baptized is by fire. But the people, like I said, when I see them, they sitting there looking like zombies. Dead. They look like, you know how people have a color, but that could be me. That could be the gift that he put in me to see them like a dead body. And they sitting there like zombies. And this man teaching them the same thing over and over and over and over, the same thing. Traveling, talking about he baptizing. And when you finish baptizing the people through that nasty water, guess what? They still gonna need the baptism of the fire. And let me tell you, if the fire ain't in them, it ain't gonna be in them. That's why they sitting in your pew year after year after year after year, listen to your flesh fire message. That's for they what? They flesh that's dying. Okay, now we're going to go over one more here, even though it's like several more destroyed. Okay, let's go to 61. Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in this law, them will Yah bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So even the sickness is going to kill your tail. You know why? Because you all didn't pay attention to what he was saying all the time. A small remnant coming up out of here. So when we tell y'all what they didn't tell y'all, let me tell you what they didn't tell you. See, what they don't understand. As I see this here, and I read this to you, it's telling you how they're going to be building, planting, and all the crop. And as they're going to be doing this thing, the Father say, and they're going to be destroyed, and it's going to be taken from them, and they're not going to own it. What is that saying? What came to me today was this. We in midnight hour, real dark, evil, wicked times. When the Father take his up out of here, that small remnant, guess what? Those Hebrew Israelites is going to still be on this land with they God, they man-made God, which is they what? Idol. They're going to be with their idol gods. So these people, what Sister Deborah tell you, they get on this devil platform, worshiping each other, putting each other on pedestals. They praising these people, supporting these people, or liking and giving them all praise, and y'all get nothing. Guess what? They're going to be left right here getting those same so-called praise or whatever they're going to get. So what Deuteronomy just explained to me in Deuteronomy with the quicken. See, Deborah, you might not see how I said that they're not going to own. It's going to be taken from them. You know why? They're not coming. They're going to be left right here. And what they build and what they have, they're going to lose it. because it don't belong to them. They're going to be cursed still while they remain in this land. See, this land is the place for the curse. The curse is not going to cease, you guys. The curse is not going to cease. It's going to remain here. So if Yah said, I'm coming to get my small, what did he say, remnant, then he taking his out. But what did he say when he said, you're going to come in cursed and you're going to go out cursed? What about those who going to remain? They're going to still be cursed. And that's when everything they have, everything they built, everything they plant is going to be taken from them. And that's when they talking about a time. And I said, I'm going to tell you how scary that is. Because today, this is just Sister Deborah, today, I thought about, Father, those that's left here, just imagine the things that they going to have to endure. See, they thinking they had a hard time now. Like today, they really thinking they have a hard time now. All of those things that I'm telling you all, and I'm saying how bad it is, just know you're going to be up out of here. They're going to still be here saying, we the people, we the Jews, we the children of the Most High Yah, we are the children of Israel and Judah. They're going to be still talking that trash. And guess what? There's not going to be light for them. There's not going to be anything that Father's going to deliver them for. They're going to remain here. Because if you listen to what it says, until they are destroyed, those that are coming out, they're not going to be as those who are in here. They're going to be destroyed to the point of death. That's why Isaiah chapter 3 and chapter 25, it said they're going to fight the war, the mighty men, and the other ones, the men going to die by the sword, and those that are in the mighty going to die in the war, because they're going to die right on this land, right here. So when they build it, and see, y'all, let me tell y'all something. These people are building this stuff to make Yah a lie. And they're doing it straight into you all's face. They are doing stuff to prepare themselves for what he just said in Deuteronomy. They are prepared. You think a person would run around and get a whole bunch of guns if they're not preparing for a war? Let's say, for instance, you get a gun to defend yourself. That's different. But the way you trying to show the world, look, I'm grabbing this, we getting ready, we practicing. To what? To fight the war that the Father said in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25 that you're going to die in. Right here in the land of their captives. They're going to die here, you guys. Just think, if he's coming to get his small remnant, what's going to happen to the other people? Do you get the point I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. The other ones is going to be left right here doing what they're doing now, except everything that they have going to be taken from them. That's how it's going to be disappeared. See, they thinking, well, no, we got to build this and get ready for this. We got to build these houses and build these towers. We got to build these places. And they building it. And at the same time, turning around to you saying, see, what we doing? We doing the work of Yah. How you doing the work of Yah when Yah say he taking his up out of here? He ain't tell you that. Nowhere in Deuteronomy 28 tells you to start building and planting to the point where you're trying to build your own empire. What you doing and what you have done, you have made yourself an idol god to the blind people. And that's the same thing with those who's traveling all over the world talking about, I got my what's this, that shot, my COVID shot, just so I can travel around the world. Y'all don't need you. See, who thinks that if I'm going to let this world put something in my system so I can travel and do the will of Yah? Do you think that Yah needs you to have a shot to do his will? See, that's their mindset. Their mind is gone. Their mind is gone. See, when you're dealing, let me tell y'all, when you're dealing with the Most High Yah, you have to deal with him in spirit and truth. That spirit and truth going to let you know about that power. That spirit and truth going to let you know about that light. That spirit and truth going to show you the way to the narrow gate. It's going to show you the difference between the broad gate and the narrow. And it's going to show you pretty much of things that's to come. So you can be ready in your spirit man, and your spirit man been and got your flesh under the subjection to what the Father has planned because he shared it with you. These people, they got flesh planned. They got flesh for the war. And they gonna die in it. They're gonna die in it. That's why they can sit and debate and argue and fight and fuss. And guess what? The number one thing they all doing, they all are gang banging. They gang banging big time. I mean, camp against camps, pastor against pastor, apostle against apostle, apostle against pastor. They just all gang banging and trying to back it up on nationwide television to throw you all off, to make you think they're about the Most High Yah because we build it. We got men, you know, and they looking stupid because when it all said and done, the end game of Deuteronomy is that you will die in all that you have. You're not going to be able to protect your men, your children, your wife, your nothing. And the feeling that that came to me today was, all those who are going to be left when you scoop yours out, Father, what are they going to be feeling like? That's what I said to the Father. He didn't give me an answer, but I just said that because I had got that feeling like, ooh, do they know what they're going to be what it's going to be like for them once Yah scoop his small remnant out? Do you know what it's going to be like for them? Do you think, now listen to this. Say, for instance, Sister Deborah went and got 100 acres of vegetables, built 100 acres of housing and planting food, and probably got a warehouse of guns and ready to defend what the word said you're supposed to lose anyway. They don't see that. They think it's time for war. Mentally, they gone. And when you think like that, let me tell you something. When you think like that, you lose your life because you're trusting in your flesh and the flesh of man to save you out of a curse or out of a situation that the Father said you wasn't going to come out. But if you came out with spirit and truth in the palm of his hand, when he come get you, he's going to swoop you up because he already know who belong in the palm of his hand and get you out of here. And you're going to be on a journey. Don't get me wrong, because he said you're going to come in and go out just as cursed as you were in. So that journey until we get to the other side is where he's going to cleanse you up. Don't think he ain't going to be with you now on that journey. Oh, yeah, he's going to be there. But it's a lot of things that still going to continue, you know. And I think it's going to be at that time still separating certain people. But I tell you, these people thinking they coming out of here and still building like there's no tomorrow. They building like, hey, wait a minute, we got to build this, and they tricking people because they're doing it for a war game. They're trying to build to defend. See, that's the wrong thing, because if you gonna defend yourself, or if you ain't got Yah like you have told the people, you better build. You better start building 1 million acres. You better start building all 1 million acres full of food. You better get 1 million guns. You better get everything you can. Because if that's where your hope is at, that's where it's at. It ain't going to change. You're going to be still right there. Because I got that feeling today. I said, well, when you swoop yours up, Father, a lot of people going to be left. And he said it just as plain to my spirit. Yes, right here. And the reason why I was dealing with that, because of everything that's going on, how the midnight darkness of things that's actually taking place. I'm looking at that and saying, woo, it's really bad out here. Just imagine when y'all take his out. Satan gonna say, woo, it's time to party. It's time to party. He know what time it's gonna be. Only because the small remnant is still here. They can't move like they want. They can't do the thing. They get things in. They put things in prosper in order. But let me tell you, they can't move as long as y'all small remnant up in here, because they don't know who the small remnant is. So they can't just do what they want. But they working up in there, and they got so much demonic, wicked, evil stuff right before everybody. But once y'all swoop hands up out of here, that means Satan can cut up from the floor up. And I believe that it's going to come a time, once the Father has taken his, then this is where Deuteronomy 28 foot finish stamp on them. Oh man, it's going to be on. They're going to wish they would have been led by the Holy Spirit and not by the flesh mouth of a loud mouth man. They're going to wish they would have. But let me tell you, until that time come, they ain't got no problem. They thinking they doing good. They think they doing just. And they just, and a lot of them are stealing and taking from others to build their tower, but then get on here and show you their tower that they're building and make you feel that they're protected. They got what they need. They ready, and you better get yours after they didn't got from you throughout years and years and years. And that just shows you the mind is still messed up. When they be building these camps and stuff, they taking these men money. They ain't taking nobody nothing. You got your idol gods that you're running behind. Just put it like that, because that's exactly what it is, idol God. And the idol gods today are people idling men. That's what they're doing, and they running behind them. That's why you got all these camps. And if you had an opportunity, if the Most High gave us opportunity to say, okay, let's get everybody. Let's see, in what state? Let's say Chicago. All the Hebrew Israelite camps. Would you know what they be doing out down there? Killing one another. Gang banging. Said you got on the color we got. You can't wear the same. We believe this. You don't believe. That's just how bad it really is, you guys. So let me go into the lesson. The Father wanted me to go to Deuteronomy 28 just to kind of show you. And I'm going to tell you what I learned. Just that quick time. I always find myself learning as the Spirit of Yah allowed me to speak. He actually sat here and showed you that no matter what they do with their hands, that means building, planting, it don't matter, Deborah. It's going to be taken from them. Just like my word said in the Deuteronomy 28, the end game. And because they're in full denial of the end game, this is why they're going on their way. Just like he said in Hosea, they go their way, but they're going to perish. Y'all don't get it, do you? And Hosea is Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. Hosea said, my people, he called them his people, perish. Die. Lack of knowledge, because they reject. Why? Because I send Sister Deborah, I send Max to warn them and tell them. They don't hear it. They ain't heard me since the beginning of time, said the Father. So they ain't going to hear them now. I want to show you something. I want to start off. Oh, I did that. I wanted to show you where I know for a fact that the house of Israel is mentally gone. It's when a organization can form a Black Lives Matter, and funds can be collected all over the world, and no Black community get the funds. How can the Hebrew Israelites say that they're awakening and allow? See, these are not kings and leaders, you guys. These are not men with the mentality to lead or be king or be rulers. First of all, how can you be anything and you in captivity? You in prison. Where is it in Deuteronomy? He told you. And even when you go into captivity and be oppressed and be in the slave iron around your neck, you're going to be a king with the iron around your neck. You're going to be a ruler. You're going to be a leader. You're not going to be able to find that, y'all. That's just common sense. How can you be all this that you on these devil platforms pretending and role playing? Because you have deceived the mass, meaning many you have deceived. And that's why the strong delusion juice have been poured out on these men so they can believe their own lie. Now listen to this. How can Black Lives Matter exist and have made that much money. And these doing, woo, Father, woo, Father, woo! These same sick people talking about reparation. How can that be? How can you be awakened to anything and running around here talking about reparation? And here these heathens then open up an organization, put two or three black women to be the face, and they made millions of dollars. I'm talking about 100 million, maybe 200. And then you running around here talking about you want the government to give you reparations. Y'all, these people been on this devil platform extremely too long. They have deceived you all by great number. It's not nothing that comes out of their mouth. It's worth this sister right here listening to. Because one minute it come out their mouth, reparations. Next minute, they doing this to us. They take this from us. They did this. We built this world and we built this country. Wait a minute. And you mean you let an organization, but you're awakening. You're awakening. It shows you the stupidity and the low mindset of those who said that they're awakening. We, the Hebrew Israelites. It shows you. Didn't I tell y'all? What? Been 2 years? They gone. I've been starting from 75%, 100%. They gone. Black Lives Matter make 100, 150, 200,000, $200 million, and not 1 cent. Ooh, y'all. And you say your black men got sense. You all run around here and say your black men got sense. Farrakhan formed a black man march. Farrakhan told the city, I can bet you I bring money to your city if you just let me have a black million man march. And all he did is sing to it that these darn Negroes take their tails to a city. And that city made millions on the mouth of Farrakhan. Black, a million man march. Nothing spiritual, nothing godly, nothing to empower them. Those were the Hebrew Israelites detached to them too. Gone. And none of y'all ever, if it elects you, see how many women lost their lives trying to make sure these men get to where they going. See how many children done without food and done without things just so these men can go there. They wasn't men when they left, and they wasn't men when they came back. How you like me now? Black million man march, you's a fool, and you gonna be a fool on this land. Y'all can't trust you with nothing. He can't trust you to have any sense. This is why this sister is born to be a prophet, came here appointed and anointed to be what y'all called me to be. Not what these clowns want y'all to think that they are. And have the audacity to tell me to shut up. You better shut up and shut down. And stop acting like continually clowns. Farrakhan set y'all doing tails up. And all it did was took money out of the hands of the women. Because they the one made sure these Negroes got there. And had what they need. Hotels, restaurants, clothing, airplanes. He sold y'all out. Farrakhan sold y'all tails out. Talking about a million man march. They wasn't a man when they left, and they didn't come back a man. And that don't make no sense. And they, look, none of them figured it out. None of them. A lot of the women did because they got their tails whooped before they left. And they got their tail tore up from the floor up when they came back because things were due. They just wanted to fulfill this Negro who have already told the heathens that I can show y'all we can make y'all money if we can get a million man march. That ain't no different than the Black Lives Matter, you guys. We are a people that licks the foot of the heathens. Every chance we get, and we ain't never done nothing righteous on this land. Ain't no such thing as you built nothing. You built a bunch of mouth. Because Deuteronomy 28 didn't say you built this country. Black men always had a tendency of lying. And that's just why you see the world and you see the families the way that they are. And you got still sick, ignorant women running around here talking about that our men need to be respected. You got to first respect yourself before anybody respect you with your pants hanging down. Going on interviews with your shirt and your t-shirt on and your head looking like you just woke up. This is the mindset of what y'all said. Until they are destroyed. Tell them, Deborah, until you are destroyed. Until you are destroyed. Until you are destroyed. And what do you mean? I'm going to grab mine, Deborah, in the middle of my hand. I'm going to get them out. And they're going to be what I said. Totally destroyed. And as you told them the other day, Isaiah chapter 3 and 25, men, get ready, because you ain't leaving this land. You're going to be destroyed. Anytime you women see these men, but then half of y'all gone too, because you're your daddy's bloodline. Half of y'all gone too. Now you don't have half, but more than half. Can't see. But I just thank the Father. I thank the Father for those that he has in the palm of his hand. I do. I truly thank him for that, because I feel that he should have a small remnant out of all of what you see. There should be a small remnant in his hand. He should have a small remnant in his hand, and he does. He should have a small remnant in his hand, and he does. Now, going back to the Black Lives Matter. Look at the Black Lives Matter. A good 200, maybe it was probably more than that, but because it ain't no black person keeping the tab or saying anything. I'm just showing you how, and I'm gonna back what I'm saying up, and I'm gonna back it up, and I'm gonna back it down. Watch what I'm saying. When I say Black Lives Matters, look at all the money they made. You didn't hear not one Hebrew Israelite movement. You didn't hear UCIC, who march when they purple and gold, being fools out there to the world. Do you all understand they done mastered this book and they see that something is wrong with you all? You still ain't figured that out. Something would have to be wrong with you for them to build a Black Lives Matter organization. They know already that you ain't got nothing up here. They already know that. They knew when Farrakhan had the Million March. You didn't have enough. They knew when they were spraying water on you, when you was the police brutality and all that back in the old day. They knew you didn't have no sense. They knew you didn't have no sense when they hung your tails up on a tree. And Sister Deborah's gonna tell it like it is, because y'all didn't get your tail down, did it? It's nothing that we as a people have done that y'all have delivered us from. Nothing. And he always letting the black men lead it. Because they lead you nowhere. Look at Al Sharp. Look at, what's his name? Jesse, what's his name there? Jesse Jackson? No, is his name Jesse Jackson? I think that's his name. Work for the heathens to chop you upside down. Look at him. Martin Luther King. His side man, which one of his side men, which was gay. All this mess leading you. What have they led us? What have we accomplished? What have we gone? Nowhere. Because Deuteronomy was right all the time. They just was making a fool out of y'all. Just like today. Now one of you accept the Father's word. He said, don't say nothing there, but tell you what. They're going to walk it whether they like it or not. So when you sit and you hear the prophetess of the Most High Yah tell your tale, and you still walk, that's because you ain't in that small remnant. He gonna get up out of here. You gonna see what she said come to pass. You know something wrong when these Negro men can't do nothing but say they something. Oh, they want you to lie to them. But women, you've been lying to them for a mighty long time. That's why they never made a change. A mighty long time. And I'm going to tell it like it is, because even when I think of the men hanging on the tree, and I think of them burning our men up back in the days and spraying that water on them, locking them up and killing them in the jail. But I look at the men today and I was like, wait a minute, hold up, Father. There ain't no change. No, it ain't. See, because you can't see them and see who they are. I see them and I know who they are. See, that's the thing about it. He said, did you see me come get, I'll never forget when he told me that. Did you see me come get the men off the trees that was hanging? Oh, you the two children, huh? You the two Jews. You the children of the Most High. Did you come off them trees? Because y'all know a lot of things are actually taking place and have taken place that our men still ain't never got in order. And the hurt comes from me today is when I sit and I listen and I talk to men myself, and every last one of them will tell you their fathers, their brothers, their uncles, their granddaddy raped them. And y'all walking around here like, oh, we the good people and the heathens raped our women and they did this to us. The Father said, you's a lie. You've been doing that to yourselves. That's why you got these ignorant black men going over here to Africa thinking that they're going to go over there and get something different than what they see in this country. You ain't got nothing coming, baby, but your life. And just too stupid to know it. And all they doing is, I'm finna cover that right now so we can cover that. When I go to Black Lives Matter, I have to bring you up to today. Today they got the migrants that's coming from everywhere, coming here. They're giving them everything. This is going back to show y'all they gone. They gone. My people perish due to lack of knowledge. They ain't got nothing up here, said the Father. Deborah. They ain't got nothing up here, Deborah. They ain't got nothing up here. They perish. They die because they ain't got no knowledge. And that didn't start today. This has been for quite the beginning of time. Now listen to this. The migrants are coming over here. That's a part of the plan. It's a part of it. But I look at it as a sad part because that was a part of the plan to get them over here to erase us as a people, which is okay. Father said, until your tails are destroyed, it's going to be like my father said, and not the way these Negro men get on these platforms and deceive you all. And you don't see them doing nothing for you all. These men ain't doing nothing for you all. Just like Farrakhan had the men going all up there to make that state all that money. Airline, restaurant, hotel. And now one of them Negroes, most of them didn't even have a job when they got back home. They didn't have a job when they left. These were the women keeping that mess up. And they got back and a lot of them lost their lives. Because they ain't even come back nothing but just as worse as they left. Oh yes, I remember that. Women were saying they was getting killed and beat and everything when the men came back. Because it was all darkness and wicked. In the name of the ugly, loud-mouthed man. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. I'm going to tell y'all the next step over from that was to bring these migrants over here. Those people are coming to go after you. Okay, so you walk y'all tails around here and listen to these dingbats on this devil platform lie to you all and tell you don't be concerned about them because they're coming for them. See, a lot of people sit back in their woods and tell you, oh, when you shouldn't be concerned about that. We need to be, sit your dried up tail down. You've been on this devil platform for too long. All of them have. Sister Deborah ain't been on there that long, on here that long. But let me tell you, they lying. I sit and listen to these. I have listened. I don't listen to them, but I have listened. They lying. They ain't got nothing good for you, but you give them a praise and a glory and an honor and finances. That's it. They're not doing nothing to enlighten you in spirit and truth. Now listen to this. Guess what they're asking for now? They set the Dorn Negroes, the Hebrew Israelites, the Dorn Negroes up again. They're going to turn around right in your face, just like they already did. Brought them immigrants over here and just giving them galore. Now they finna give them reparations. Right in your face, purposely. Because why? They know you weak. You always been a weak nation. You always been a weak, disturbed nation of people. Because anytime you disrespect the Creator, you got some serious issues. And if you think for 1 minute, she shouldn't be saying that about us, we didn't. Let me tell you one thing. I tell you, if Moses could tell you, let him tell you who you are. You be lucky and pray that I tell you, because if the Father has to tell you, then it's going to be some trouble. Of people that never done nothing and running around here the worst of the worst and trying to figure out why things are the way that it is. You never was about righteous. You never was about just. You never was about upright. You never was about the Most High Yah. You on this devil platform deceiving your own nation that you serve the Most High Yah. And then y'all want me to tell you out there in the airways, they've been lying to you and you've been lying to them, and y'all need each other. This next one is migraines. They're coming in already. They gave them lump sum, gave them everything. Watch right in your face. Right now, they got it before the system to give them reparation. And they're going to get it right in your face. Read the book. The instructions and directions said y'all done mess with me way too many times. That curse is what I say it's going to be. Oh, y'all don't think it is, huh? Y'all think y'all done made it because you got a big screen TV. Oh, yeah, they got a big screen TV. They think they equal. But what did I say? What did I say? Did you take me at my word, or you take the loudmouth men at theirs? They took the loudmouth men, Father Yah, and you knew it all the time that they would. These people that they bringing in, they did that intentionally, purposely. Just like in Revelation 18, there's going to be a cage. What is it y'all people don't get? A cage of unclean birds. That means demonic and wicked and evil. When they told me they had some coming over, they already was strapped with guns. You mean y'all letting all them in here? And then they bring them right around your community. Oh, I know a lot of people figure out, we out in the woods, they ain't gonna come around to us. Baby, please. Please. You're gonna be left right here with that mindset. That's why you ain't in the palm of the Most High's hand. You're gonna be right here. With that mindset, you can't be found in his palm of his hand. Okay? Now, another thing, Tanzania, I think I'm pronouncing it right. This European young man is traveling in all different parts of Africa. He's a white man, young man. He couldn't be no more than 28. He was in Tanzania, I think Africa, Tanzania. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And he was the one that I had heard. I remember way back, say about 6 months ago, he was saying, this is something wrong with this picture. And he wasn't here. He was somewhere else in another country, not Africa. And he was saying, how can these cathedrals be built back in this time? How could this be? He was saying they didn't even have this type of, what did he say? Material. How could they build those big things like that? How could this be? How could these things? He was saying that was like 6 months ago. And that was over in every London and all those other places. He was just saying back in he was looking at the history of when it was built. And he was saying, how did they have that in the 1300s? In the 1100s? So how could these buildings be title as built during this time. So he was over in Africa, right? You see these big old cathedrals. He went on and said it, but he got off of it real quick. He got off of it real quick. He said, they got all these big old churches. I'm looking at, he's showing you these big old towers, these churches, cathedrals. And he said, and you, as you looking at them, you see the downtown and the malls and everything where he was at, raggedy and nasty. All up in Africa, just nasty, ran down buildings, paint peeling off, just look horrible. But yet those cathedrals were standing up tall, looking pretty. And he said, look over there. He said, I've been there and I cannot understand how they got those built before the 1900s. He was talking in the 1900s on this one. How did they get those built? You see what I'm saying? It didn't make sense to him. And no, Negroes didn't build nothing because the material that they got in these cathedrals, let me tell you, you can tell where did they come. It shouldn't have been existed in the 1100s, 1400s. They shouldn't have had it, but they got it. Beautiful. This is Sister Deborah, y'all. This is just Sister Deborah talking. I believe that there has been other beings that have created things like that for them. I really do. I don't even think humans created those for them. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's how. Now I ain't gonna say that's the truth, but that's how I think. Because the one he showed me, and then you look at Africa and the buildings they have, and then you look at that, you be like, why would that? And then here he go. It just amazed me. They got it in the center of Tanzania. They're so beautiful. This is what the white boy was saying. I don't know how they did that. He knows. He don't know. Because it's a sight to see. Even where I'm in every state, this is what got me what he said. And these are the Roman Catholics. Oh, that's a good thing. That's what he said. See, they behind that. They buildings looking beautiful and tall and bigger than any building. Come on now. The Roman Catholics. And you know what he said? The Roman Catholics runs Africa. When he said that, I said, no, he did not. Y'all almost had a fit. I almost had a fit. I said, that's what I was trying to tell the people on YouTube. Because the Spirit of the Most High told me. Roman Catholics is all over the world. That's that power. You know, they be talking about the Illuminati and the elites. Those are the little man. KKK, skinheads, and all of them was started under the power of the Roman Catholic. All of that was. All of that. Where everybody sell themselves to is the Roman Catholics, even the Christians. The Roman Catholics is under the Christians, hiding under them. And that's why Christians are being hated in this day and time. Because there are some people who really know who's behind Christians. And then you got these Negroes here don't know who behind the Christians, holding the Christians up, the Roman Catholics. They always use them as the shield to hide. Okay, so just to hear that young white guy say that, it just does something to me. It lets me know that, see, Deborah, the things that the Father is constantly revealing to you in this day and time, it is more than 100. It is 100 times 100, because he letting you see and hear spirit and truth of the whole matter. Of the whole matter. Okay. Now, we got another situation where T.D. Jakes has turned over the baton, I call it, to his daughter. The reason why he did that is because he wants to be able to live his homosexual life out and not be in the church where everybody's paying attention that but he don't understand it's going to come, the light bulb going to come on and everybody going to see him for who he is. He's connected to that homosexual lifestyle, and he's been that for a long time. He's not turning his baton over to his daughter for no reason. He's turning it over to her for her to take on what he did. And all it's going to do is she's going to be a lesbian and he's going to be gay. It ain't going to be no, baby, you ain't turning nothing over. And if those, now listen to, this is why I try to explain to you all. These people in this church have to know that T.D. Jakes stepped into the sugar. They know. The whole world, I mean, everybody know that he's into this gay thing. Why are you still there at his church? You see what I'm saying? They gone, y'all. They been gone. That's what people do. Not. So why do you think it's y'all's fault? Do you think y'all should do something because we as a people want to sit under people who's practicing dark, evil, and wicked, and we want to sit up on them and look at them and worship them and honor them, praise them, give them the glory, and because we want to use T.D. Jakes as another what? Idol God. That's just like these people on this devil platform. They are idol gods. And they will deny it 100%. But you'll notice, ain't nothing they said, nothing, none of their actions, nothing is matching the Most High Yah. Nothing. And they are so happy that they can just role play and clown in front of a people, and they can look like they famous and they can feel good because people giving them praise. That's an idol God, child. That is an idol God. So T.D. Jakes, T.D. Snakes ain't doing nothing but handing the baton over to his daughter. And it's going to be, and it's all about homosexual, y'all. That's all it's about. A lot of men been in that, and I never forget, and this had to have been 20 years ago, this young guy, he could sing really good, and he was talking about everybody talking about him being gay in the church and he being gay. He just broke it down. He said, y'all, every pastor y'all have, when I have sung, they own me. They want me. They give me a key to a hotel. They come visit me. They give me money. They offer all y'all church pastors, y'all sitting here trying to make me look bad. Y'all pastors are looking for me and his other friends. This is what they were doing. And he said, everybody sit and don't understand. All of these pastors are doing this. I believe that when he said that, because being able to kind of discern, and I'm gonna tell you another gift that I have that I think that kind of brings me into a sorrow. It really does, because I'm in the flesh. Y'all got to understand, I'm in the flesh. Oh, am I in the spirit? You right, I am. But I'm in the flesh when I'm feeling this thing. When I'm feeling like this here, I'm in the flesh. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of the gift that he gave me. So I wanted to talk about the TD Snakes giving it a time over to his daughter. Okay, and I heard someone talk about people are cutting off their locks, their dreadlocks. A lot of people, a lot of men are deciding to cut off their dreadlocks. I don't understand why everybody went running or desiring to have the locks. It has no spiritual significance. It has no nothing. It has what you brainwash yourself that it is. That it has no detachment to nothing. It's what you are manipulating yourself to believe that it is something. And that's why, and a lot of them like it because the length. They don't care if one way up here and one way down here on the floor. They don't care. They just think it's something special to have people looking at them when they wear it like that, or when they have it all over the place. And they don't understand that a lot of that, it's really, it just, to me, a lot of it, a whole lot of it, when I was staying in Atlanta, was connected to a lot of gangs, a lot of drugs, wearing their hair. When they come around, people already knew it was trouble, because, and a lot of time, we as a people, we like that. We think that that's the way you live. Leave us alone. That's our land, not our way of wearing our hair. No, baby. No, baby. The white man can tell you white, and all they have to do is put a white piece of paper up, and you don't want Negroes to say you white. I've sat in the 62 years and watched them start the Blood and the Crips through the whole, them setting stuff up to get them to go up against each other. Them heathens are excellent in making us look like fools on top of fools. Just like this Black Lives Matter. That's a fool on top of fool. We are fools. Just like these immigrants, letting them come in and nobody say anything. But I'm going to say this here, and I'm going to say it on every video. Do not vote. Do not apply to vote. Do not vote in their year of 2024. Don't cater. Protest against voting. Negroes, don't vote. That's just like telling them, all of them, vote, y'all, vote. To say not to vote to Negroes, let's go vote. They'll give us a bag of chips if we vote. That's how gone. So if the father said they gone, they gone. Nobody on this devil platform can tell me nothing different. If the father told me they gone, they gone. So I would suggest, as a prophetess in the wilderness, that nobody vote. Do not vote. Boycott. Let the world know that you're no longer voting, and you watch it. If somebody had to come to speak that, you'll see these Negroes can't wait to vote. It's sad, but if they did it to the Creator, they'll do it to anybody, and that's where you can't get Negroes to understand. They ain't doing it to Sister Deborah. They ain't doing it to Sister Deborah. The things that these people are doing, they have done to your Father in the heaven, the Creator. So if you make this about Sister Deborah and what they doing to each other, oh, we need to love each other. We need to come together. We need to unite. You don't need to do nothing until you learn to have respect for the Most High Yah. You don't need to be saying nothing or doing. Matter of fact, you don't need to be on this devil platform if it don't represent him. And this is what y'all don't understand. I don't have no problem calling this a devil platform because it is what it is. But you're going to get these Negroes to say that. You know why? We want our check at the end of the month. They'll ban us. So because they never was for him. They never was for the Most High God. And they thinking, oh, since the Negroes or the Hebrew Israelites ain't got sense and they don't know, well, hey, we'll just keep on role playing on them. They don't know. But baby, payback is going to be something. And if you thinking y'all going to pay this world back for you, use a lie from the pit of hell. He's going to swoop the coop with what he got in the palm of his hand, which is a small remnant, and get him out of here. Y'all, let me say that example. You all do not understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. Deuteronomy has an end game. The end game ain't for you. It's for those. See, that Deuteronomy 28 sent a message to those who are doing what they're doing today, letting them know your tail going to be right here. Build what you want. They're going to tear it down, and they're going to kill you in the process. And they walking around here. We ain't listening to Deuteronomy 28. That shows you they're not following y'all. They're not following y'all. They ain't listened to a word he said. Because if they did, in Deuteronomy 28, after all that the oppressor have done, you would think that y'all Negroes would try to come into one unity. Instead, y'all here gang banging on the pulpit. Gang banging on the pulpit. Debating. How can a person debate? See, no, they debating because they wicked and evil. That's why they debate. You can't debate righteous. You ain't a part of y'all. Y'all is righteous. Y'all is holy. You baiting your trash, your ego, your pride. That's who you debating, trying to uphold, to keep. See? Traveling all over the world just so you put somebody in some dirty water and bring them up out of the dirty water. That ain't baptizing by the fire of the Holy Spirit. You still ain't got nothing coming. So you can travel your tail until you fall dead. It don't matter. You're going to get your tail left right here. When you thinking you preaching the gospel, you're going to find out you missing the power. Because all this stuff about being an apostle, if you was an apostle, the apostle had all the power. Where's yours? You ain't got none. But a big loud mouth, just like Sister Deborah told y'all. These men with loud mouths, that's about all they got. And that's what they have used to deceive the mass. Okay. Now another one is yeah, they were saying something about the men are cutting their locks. So what? It ain't nothing, ain't no gold in them. Them locks are not gold and silver. Them locks don't hold no righteous, no just, no upright. All it holds is dirt. So cut up. Who cares? People so caught up in what's on the outer man, they have totally 100 trillion times forsaken that which is in the inner man. Okay. I don't know if you all heard about, this is another one right here. Gone. Chicago, 50 shot on Memorial Day. 50 shot. Us. Gone. And you want somebody to do something. You want the mayor to do something about it. Why should somebody, if they want to get out there and kill each other like that, why? I don't get it. Why? Because he's a black man. So you want the black man to stop all what's going on in Chicago. Get your tail on out there. How about that? Y'all want to run around here talking about y'all kings, leader, and ruler. Get your tails on out there and stop. You ain't going to do it because you're so busy stopping people on these devil platforms, deceiving them and misleading them, and you waiting for the check at the end of the month. You know what I do? I thank the Father for what Yeshua said. All that thou hast given me, I have not lost none. I see exactly what he said. You can't lose what you don't have and what y'all don't give you. So it's no need in sitting on these devil platform lying and deceiving the mass and deceiving people and misleading the people just so you can be getting a check or you can get a like. I can give a rat's behind about a like or a subscriber. If you would have known that Sister Deborah didn't cut out on this devil platform, it's probably about 7 times now. I started off with a lot of people subscribing to me. You think I care? I cut it off because I realized people are not about the Most High Yah nor spirit and truth. They like that. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what. You know how they used to have the soap operas? People couldn't wait to get home. Men and women. They couldn't even wait to get home to watch the soap operas when that's all this platform is. They're not trying to get right in their hearts with Yah or trying to understand or not trying to or desiring the Most High to reveal to them spirit and truth. Show me a penny or a light so I can go in the right direction. They just own here because this is just a soap opera. And that's how they use it. Gone. So here this individual is talking about in Chicago on Memorial Day, 50 people were shot. I think it was 3 or 4 died. But the thing, the problem I have, what you want the mayor, because he black, he should do something. What are he gonna do? If you go on here and you don't have no respect for the Most High Yah, what can a man attain of you here? When you have disrespected, dishonor, profane the Most High Yah in every shape, form, and fashion, but you think a flesh of a man gonna get it right for you. Yeah, use a fool and use a fool. That's what a lot of them are running around here chasing these camps, marching with them, and going into they little clique and what they say. This is supposed to do this. It's a reason why they want the women to shut up. But at the same time, they denying Paul. How you gonna say Paul was the one that said it? Now you gonna deny Paul? I tell you what, all women need to pull up. If that's the case, that shows you they don't know what they're talking about. They just running their gap. If Yah call you with a holy calling, you better get your butt up and be about your Father's business. And if he don't, stay where you at. You ain't got nowhere to go. And he ain't gonna have you going with him. Because a lot of people, they think if they just sit on this devil platform and use it as a soap opera, and hey, when he come, I'm gonna be in line. Baby, ain't gonna be no line for you to get in, because what he is in his mighty right hand already. See, we want to treat him like he's a man. He's some flesh. We don't understand. He done been there, done that, and it is finished in him. And if it's finishing him, it's finishing me. I just got to keep running in the race in my lane. So another thing, I heard a talk about the A1 is it A1? This intelligent, artificial intelligence. Now I'm gonna tell you about that. This man was talking about the women just don't know. Pretty soon, because they got a couple of, not a couple of, quite a bit of them, where men can pay $1 a minute to entertain AI, intelligent, female intelligent, and men that, this is what I'm sure how sick he sound. I'm sure how sick he on YouTube talking this, how sick he sound. He said, because you got men that ain't want to have nothing else to do with women. Men that don't want, you got men that's a virgin, men that don't want nothing to do with women, men that leaving their women and everything. Women just don't understand. Once this A1 intelligent, they're gonna be able to get their thing on by watching a woman on what artificial intelligence and doing things with her. I said, see there, and I'm talking. This is a Negro. What did I tell y'all? They gone. They gone. See, y'all can run y'all mouth and try to make these people kings, lead, and ruler. You be a fool. You be a fool. You be a fool. You don't see that nowhere in Deuteronomy 28 telling you, make him a king, make him a leader, make him a ruler. He ain't tell your tails nothing. Because he already done told them, put a yoke around their neck until they destroy. But you going to run around here and set them free. Okay. That's the mouth of these ugly mouth women who wants to put these men somewhere that they don't have no authority of being. They tail supposed to be up under the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. Up under spirit and truth. You don't see none of them out there doing it. None of them. I'm going to be honest with you. I hear more white men talking like they got more sense than the black ones. And that ain't no lie. I'm a prophet in the wilderness. I'm not a dead one. I'm a living one. I'm hearing this stuff. I'm living in this thing. They talking more sense. And I'm going to give you a copy of one of them. I mean, a video I have here. So I will say that, and then you hear this black guy talking about the black mayor should be doing something because 50 people got killed in Chicago. So what? Get your tail up and do something. Can't nobody do nothing with these Negroes. It's over. And my thing is, when the Father, he let me see it already. But when he started to let the light shine so bright on it, people gonna want to die because they're gonna see for what it is. Because right now everybody see everything. Oh, it ain't like that. It's use a lie from the pit of hell, and that's where you're gonna end up. The reality is, once you come to terms what it is what it is, and all you have to do is get ready for him to come. But if you sit your dumb tails up here and act like, oh no, it ain't that, you gonna tell it's gonna be left right here with them. And see how you like it then. See how it's gonna be then. That's what the Most High. Now, I'm not the Most High, but I would think that if people were sitting here saying, oh, they bothering us, they doing this to us, they doing that to us, they doing this to us, and they ain't doing nothing to each other. They ain't doing nothing but sitting around being good angels. No. Y'all say you see that thing, own that thing, claim that thing. Oh, they don't want to do that. Oh, you won't be now coming with me. You won't be coming with me. Because the one that's in my hand, they already got issues on top of issues. They in the palm of my hand. You think I'm going to bring you who sit in the midst of it and praising it and giving it the thunder and the energy and the glory? Oh, no. You got him bent. Everybody got the Most High bent. All up. They got him. They got. Now, this one man, I saw this one lady and this man, they got this here video. And they had a black guy that was interviewing Lucifer. Lucifer had this face and he had a suit on. He was interviewing Lucifer, and Lucifer was telling him what is the biggest thing going on. The man that was reenacting as Lucifer, he was being interviewed by this other man, and Lucifer was telling you all the evil of the world, and that man was nailing it. But when he got to what would you say is the biggest wicked and evil that is on the earth today, that Lucifer said that supports me, that's number one in me? That's what the man was saying that was acting like he was Lucifer. He said, well, the one that really supports me and that put me up on high is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and pride. I know, you know what? Whoever that man that was role playing, he nailed it when he said those, especially pride. I told y'all, these men so loaded with pride, they can't see nothing. Too much pride. And even the Bible told us over and over and over, they go the pride minded, self-centered, self-motivated, pride minded. You can't even reason with pride, child. When a man got pride in him and all over him, that's it. You can't even deal with it. And he was telling him the two things that supports me more than anything on the earth, that where I win all the souls, is lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride. And I believe that. I said to you all over and over and over, these Negro men, they measure a female by the back end of her rear end. Another young lady just died going to get surgery. And women running around here getting out of health just to get somebody to look at them, and don't even understand they ain't looking at you because you this. They use a woman. Only black men, Negroes, use a woman rear end as a trophy. They don't care what she looked like. They don't care if she got any sense. They don't care if she on crack. They don't care if she's alcoholic. They don't care if she got a butt. Oh, I'm going to take her around so I can see, let everybody see my trophy, her rear end. Negro men have always been like that. That's why you see in Africa them women twerking. We don't call it twerking, but it is. What is this about everybody flashing their back end? Let me tell y'all something. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and I couldn't understand what was wrong. I can't even. Let me see if I can do it. Sister Deborah's crazy. I don't know if I can't. This is how the women walking around like this here, y'all. And my daughter, she was in high school. She said, Mama, I wonder what's wrong with these women, the young girls and the women. Why are they trying? I said, Crystal, they trying to heist their tail. And every female was walking around like that, trying to make their rear end like not a porcupine, heist up. And they arched their back and they walking. And even the little bitty, skinny little girls, I said, no, they ain't. Same thing in Africa. Them women be throwing their back in because that's all they feel they have. But that's on them. And y'all should see all the crap going around. And when he said the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, that was it. And he said pride. I knew pride because I told y'all about pride. It's going to send a lot of them to hell. But this is what I'm saying. So while you running around here trying to get all the rear end you can, so you can show men that I got 4 or 5 rear end, you go get 6 and 7. Matter of fact, if it's 15 more left, go and take it. You can have it. But see, that's the mindset. It should never be the woman's rear end. We are the only nation that have men that measure a woman from her rear end. I've seen men drool over a woman 80 and 90 years old because she got a tail on her back end. And their eyes can't even stop looking. Look, mouth hanging and tongue hanging. I'm telling y'all, you can sit and you can say whatever you want. This is about spirit and truth. This is the truth of the matter. Their hearts are in such a heavy lust for the flesh. Lust in the, what is that? Lust of the eyes. That's telling the same story. And every last one of them working on getting their back end heist up and don't even understand. Listen to this. He was sitting here telling this other man was talking about the robot the female robots that men are paying $1 for a minute to talk to and play, talk sex and all of that. You see that? You see what I'm talking about? Porno, all this stuff to get something that ain't even there. None of it is there, y'all. A lot of, you know what? Let me tell y'all something. This is what I believe. This is Sister Deborah. I ain't saying this is what is. I said I believe this. I believe we are also the only nation that don't know that there's a spiritual purpose for what one would call love making. And because we are such a wicked people, we bypass anything that Yah has created. Look how he in the beginning, he created man and woman. A man leave his mother and father and cleave to a woman, and the two become one. These darn Negroes sitting here talking about give me more women, polygamy. We can have as many women. They going around laying up with so many women to where they flying over in Africa, laying up with these women all over there and having babies, baby, y'all, and leaving them babies and coming back here. Us Negroes. I'm telling you, this is what us Negroes. And Africa is worse than we are. The men over in Africa is worse. They are off the chain. I remember so many women lost their lives from AIDS because the men was traveling all over in Africa, just laying up with them and taking them, and they didn't have no way of fighting back or not laying with them, just letting the men do whatever they want. And they thinking they just thinking they rule this world. Yeah, you're gonna rule it. Let's see what heaven gonna rule in you. Okay, let me see you. Okay, so I covered that. Now the last and least is I want to cover who I am. And no one on these devil platforms is going to change it and can make any difference. Me as 4 years old, these are the gifts that has been given unto me in my spirit man. I have been given the Holy Spirit of God. I am saved. I am sanctified. I am anointed. I am appointed. I am ordained. I have been predestined. I have the spirit of discerning. I have the spirit of interpretation of the tongues, different tongues. I can interpret tongues, okay? And these interpreting tongues is when one is in the sanctuary or the temple, and you hear people or hear individuals speaking in tongues. If it is of the spirit of the Most High Yah to edify the church, I can tell you exactly what it's saying. If it's of the devil, I can tell you what the devil is saying. If it's of the flesh, I can tell you it's caught up in its emotions. Okay, so to get and to receive the spirit of interpretation of tongues is truly a blessing. And let me explain something to you. The gift of interpreting tongues is a really blessing because, say, if someone's speaking in tongues and they speak it in the holy tongue, the Holy Ghost, I mean, in the spirit, then these tongues are telling you how one is praising the Father in the spirit, and to hear what it's saying, it'll blow you off the map. That's why it's a blessing to edify the church. The church realized that, wait a minute, in the spirit realm of this individual, they're praising the Most High for us all. That's what it does. See, when that person is in the church and they speaking in tongues, they're not saying a conversation between them and Yah. No, it's for the whole sanctuary. They saying things toward the Yah, praising Yah on the behalf of everybody. You see what I'm saying? In the sanctuary. That's how it edifies the church, because the church is speaking to the Father and the Father is speaking through the church, to the church. And that's how it's edified to the church. It edifies the church. That's why I said what has happened is a lot of times you hear these Hebrew Israelites, they don't understand the gifts. And I said it's okay. Like the Father said, it's finished there, it's over. They ain't gonna get it. So it don't. And that I want to say this here though, but the gifts has been put there, and you would never ever hear the Hebrew Israelite talk about the power of the gifts. People be on this devil platform. If you don't hear the power of the gifts that was poured out, then that's why these people be on this devil platform going in circles, telling you the same thing year after year after year, because they don't have the power of knowing anything about all the gifts that the Most High. So when you go, say for instance, you go to the hospital and you have any type of sickness, guess what? You was really supposed to go to the church. And he that has the gifts is supposed to lay hands on you, baby, and deliver you. And you're supposed to walk out here. So I'm just showing you the mindset of how everybody gone. If your eyes and you can't see, you're supposed to go to the church. And whoever has that gift, they're supposed to lay hands on you, and you should be able to see. But there's no faith. There's no sincerity. There's no spirit and truth in the church. So therefore, there's no power. See? There's no power. So everybody just doing role playing, clowning. Okay. So and I'm gonna show you one more, and I have the gift of prophesying. This one I have is off the chain, and I don't know how to embrace it because it is off the chain. I really don't know how to embrace it because it is off the chain, and that's the gift to read the mind. To read the mind. To read the mind. It comes with long suffering and endurance, because to be in the midst of individuals, or you don't even have to be in the midst of them, you can hear their minds, you can hear their thoughts. That's what I could have my mother to vouch for. She would tell you as a little girl, that gift was full force. I could tell the thoughts of what people were thinking, and it made me feel so sad all the time. Even when they thought of me, it felt so sad. That's a gift that I know comes with long suffering, without a doubt. Mind reading. And this mind reading is not something you do on your own. You don't have to even be around an individual, and he'll let you know what the person thinking, how the person is feeling, what the person has said, what the person is saying. And that's such a powerful gift, to the point where it do bring you into long suffering and sadness. You know, it really does, because you're knowing stuff that you really don't feel that you care to know. But yet, because how he prepared you and he mold and shape you, as he being the potter and you being the clay, who are you to tell the potter what to give you or how to mold his clay? So that's just one gift that I learned that has been heavy in my 58 years, because I started when I was 4. That has been one of the most heaviest spiritual gifts. And I have searched everywhere to try to find out who else has this gift, who else can do this, who else, and it's almost like, and yes, have he taught me? I honestly, he had to have been with me throughout this, because this here is a heavy gift, y'all. It is a really heavy. The world call it a psychic, okay? But I don't go over in that area, nor do I use it to at my advantage or use it against anyone. You see, I never, but I knew what would be the purpose. That's why I sit and tell you all, what will be y'all's purpose to give me all these gifts and sit on this devil platform and give people the word as he give it to me? But what is really the purpose behind all that? You see, even the mind reading, all of it. You know what? I don't even think it's for us or Sister Deborah to really know his purpose. just understand it's his will. You know, just understand that it's his will. Because it's a lot of things we're going to be able to do that we're not going to be comfortable with doing. But we have to know that in him, everything works for the good to he that really, really knows who Yah is. Really. So anybody in the live chat, if you have any question, uh, you can you can put forth a question. I think we still got about 5 more minutes. And like I said, if you have any question, just shoot them out. And that's pretty it for my little lesson. But if you have any question, anybody in the live chat, someone says me too. Wow, me too. What was that? It's definitely long suffering. Yep. Mm-hmm. Impact. That's right. You sure can. Because you start reading their minds. You'll be starting knowing what they thinking. See, but I didn't know I had that gift until I stepped into the church and I began to read their mind. I was trying to figure out, is this the spirit of discerning or is this the spirit of, hey, why do I know what this man did? Hey, he was hollering at his wife before he got here. What's wrong? Everything's gonna be okay. The lady looked at me. I said, I know it was horrible when you left home, but it'll be bad. She said, but how you know? This old lady said, how you know? It's because she was sitting next to me and I was feeling her, and I don't normally say anything, but she was just very emotional and I could feel it. Okay, sorry. Oh, you had your grandbaby. Oh, okay. Yes, and you know what I'm wondering, because see, I didn't think that this is the facts about that, the gifts. That's why when I first came on here, and I told you all too, I didn't think I would live. I didn't think that I would live to be the age that I am. I didn't think I would live because I felt that I knew too much. I had too much spiritual insight from Yah that surely I'm gonna get out of here in time. That's the way I thought. That's right. You sure can. Yeah. He's listening to get food for his spirit. You ought to quit. Yeah, mine do too. And you know what? I'm learning to kind of pull away, because one thing I realized that you really can't save your children. You can't do anything but just say a prayer. And when you say that prayer, make sure you say, Father, let thy will, not my will, but thy will be done. Yes, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes. That's why I was saying it's kind of it makes you feel like you're alone because these things you be knowing. And I don't know if I shared with you all that last month, I think it's been 4 people that came to me and told me something I said to them 30 or longer years ago. And they said it came to pass. Oh yeah, the eyes is definitely when he showed me the eyes, I was like, oh, and he showed me how to box the eyes. And he told me because I almost got killed. That's why he told me that. I walked straight in on a trap. And I could have, if it been I could have been killed. And he showed me how. He said, now when you look at, he taught me how to box the eyes. Mm, yep. So when he showed me how to box the eyes, I was like, oh, okay. So I thank the Most High for that. So I say to you all, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I will say it's a sad moment for Sister Deborah because I'm gonna say to y'all, a lot of the stuff I just said tonight, it was a lot of power in it, a lot of spirit and truth resting in it, and it's a sad thing because nobody, and not even Sister Deborah, will be able to escape. Your middle daughter. Thank you. So Sister Deborah says, I will be back. And shalom, and you all have a wonderful evening. Shalom. And oh, he's trying to say something. Grabbing the phone. All righty, all righty. So Sister Deborah says, shalom and shalom.